Hey guys, Smitty at the shop. We're back on the slow boat to Chibson's. On the channel there is a video about this Chibson Aldo Nova model. Just a spectacularly built guitar for sub $300. Super happy with that, and was so impressed with the quality of it compared to some of the other Chibsons I have. I thought, man, is this a fluke? Or did I stumble upon somebody who was really taking their time to put together nice guitars? So I jumped back on eBay. I looked up the seller. He had a nice black Les Paul custom. I said, let me order that up. I went back and forth with him about the price. He sent it out. Again, I got it in 7 business days, which is awesome. And that's what this video is all about, is checking out that black Les Paul, to figure out, was this a fluke or did we find ourselves a real decent guitar builder? So, without further ado, let's go. All right, well, let's see if it's a fluke. Gosh. Well, there it is. Black Beauty, Les Paul custom. Initial impression. Real nice guitar, real nice finish. I don't see any flaws in the finish on the front, nor on the back. Front and back binding. Look at this, this Gibson custom on it. And of course, got the fake serial number. Fret nibs. The first thing I notice is the bridge. It's not the ABR1 knockoff that's on the Aldo Nova guitar. It looks like it's got Allen screws down in there. It is small diameter, like an ABR1, but it was advertised as an ebony fretboard. It sure looks like it. And let me just take a closer look here. Let me give you guys a closer look. There's the body. See, I don't know if you can see that tailpiece, or I'm sorry, bridge that I'm talking about. Real nice finish. You can see where there's some a couple of spots where they didn't, where they left some compound on there. There's that fake serial number and made in USA, which doesn't thrill me. The Gibson custom is interesting. Is that a decal? Wow. If it is, it's buried under the clear. So it might actually be painted on there. Interestingly, this is stamped into the headstock. Look, you can feel that. Fret nibs, as you can see, the binding on the neck covers the end of the frets. And I think it was on this side. Nope, there was something I was going to nitpick, but I don't see it now. This is as good a quality as the Aldo Nova guitar. I mean, look at the inlay. Obviously the ones on the neck are, I don't know, are they plastic? It's kind of hard to tell. Well, no, they do have some depth to them. Not like that, though. I mean, it's actually, it amazes me, morality aside and ethics aside, if you want to put them aside, It's amazing what a quality guitar is coming out of China these days. I ordered this specifically because I was so impressed with the Aldo Nova guitar. I said, let me order another guitar from this guy. Maybe it's a fluke. Maybe he just took his time on that one. This is advertised as ebony. It certainly looks like it, and I'll be honest with you, so does the Aldo Nova guitar. Now I'm looking at this. I'm going to have to take some measurements and compare the two. But just to feel this and to look at it, if somebody handed me this right off the bat, I'd go, yeah, yep, that's a Gibson. I don't really like that idea. I think you could, you know, I have several Davison Les Pauls, and I think that, you know, you can do that without, you know, stealing a trademark logo and a name and all that other stuff. Again, all of that aside, God, for under $300, and it took, I ordered it on the 9th, which was a Sunday, exactly 2 weeks for it to get here from China. No, wait a minute. What's the date today? Yeah. Exactly two. Let me go check the calendar. No, I'm sorry. It took exactly 1 week. Seven business days, not including the weekends. Showed up in the UPS truck. That's super impressive to me. And that's the Aldo Nova guitar was the same. There was a little bit of a delay on the Aldo guitar with him shipping it out. Once he shipped it, it was the same thing. It was a week and I had it in my hands. That's amazing from China. So this guy's, or girl, is not only paying extra to have them shipped, expedited shipping, but really putting out just a quality, what I think is a quality, cheap instrument, if that makes any sense. All right, well, we're going to obviously plug this in and check it out, and then I'm going to, I'm sure inevitably I'll be pulling it apart and putting different pickups in it, but not only will I be doing a little bit more of an in-depth look at this guitar, but then I'll also be doing a comparison between this and the Aldo guitar. I like the way this person puts these together. This one is not quite as flawless as the Aldo guitar. I see a couple little nitpicky things, but again, you're talking about under $300 shipped to your front door. All right, let's dig into this. Well, there it is, boys and girls. And I got to tell you, as much as I like the Aldo guitar, this one I've actually been playing more lately. Really nicely done. Fret nibs on it. It's got the typical Chibson whateverness. The bogus serial number. The made in the USA, which is bogus in my opinion. The Gibson custom. The fake Grovers. It's got all the Chibson trim. But again, finish-wise, flawless. Binding is real nice. I say flawless. I mean, if you wanted to nitpick it, yeah, you could find a few little things here and there. Nothing really to mention as far as build quality. It's got the usual Chibson pickups, which are garbage. So I would say, in a quick summary, yeah, every bit as nice as the Aldo guitar. I have one nitpick issue, and it kind of, it's one of those things where I got to mention it because I got to stay real, but doesn't really affect anything too much. I've already straight edged the neck. The neck is in real nice shape. This is an ebony fretboard according to the seller, and it certainly looks like it. It's black. It's got virtually no red or brown in it. Fret nibs, I may or may not have mentioned. See if you can see them up close. Here's the problem. As we're getting down the neck here, the last 1, 2, 3, 4 frets, I'm not even sure if you can see that, but it looks like he dressed them. They've been filed considerably. There's no buzzing, no issue. I mean, of course, you know, it's difficult to play up there anyway on a Les Paul. You know, what's the saying? There's no money to be made after, what is it, the 5th fret? But that might be a base saying. But anyway, that would be really my only nitpick. The last 2 frets, they really filed down on. A little bit less on the 3rd one, a little bit less on the 4th one. But the 4th one, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe. It's a little bit chewed up. What they didn't do when they obviously set this thing up and filed those frets is they didn't recrown them. So I am going to do that. I have a file here, so I'm just going to dress them up a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge just because of the fret nibs, but whatever. And I'm hesitant to do that because this thing does play phenomenally. And quite honestly, I'll never play up that far. Typically, but certainly on a Les Paul. But other than that, yeah, this thing is super cool. I am going to swap out the pickups. I am going to add just a couple little things. You know, I do the usual stuff. You know, we all like to personalize our stuff. I'm going to replace the knobs. And actually, one of the knobs had a little chip in it. You see that one right there? A chip in the number 4. So we're going to replace that. And then as one last final thing, which we're also going to do to the Aldo guitars, we're going to add our own custom trim piece. Chib and sewn. Super happy with it. Super happy with the quality. Happy enough that I reached out to the builder and asked him to put me together an SG with a couple little custom touches that I would like. So we'll see how that one comes out. And then that'll be the final video, at least on this builder and these guitars, because, you know, if you look in the comments of the Aldo guitar, there's a gentleman and I who've been messaging back and forth. He ordered from the same guy. He got one guitar that came in damaged and another one that's real nice. There's always going to be that inherent risk when you're buying these things. I just don't think there's any way around it. What I am curious about, though, and the reason I'm bringing it up is it'll be interesting to see the quality of these 2 guitars compared to the SG that I ordered. Now, you prepay when you have one custom built like that. It'll be a couple of months, I'm sure, before I get my hands on it. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, all right, am I going to get a real nice guitar for, you know, just under $300? Or are they going to slap something together and say, enjoy? Time will tell. And when that SG does land on my doorstep, there will be a video on it. All right, well, I've spent a little bit of time on the Les Paul Custom Chibson. I wanted to address those last couple of frets. Much better. It clearly, when they set this thing up and got it, you know, got it to play to their satisfaction, they used some kind of flat file on these last couple of frets. It's real difficult to see. I spent a little bit of time working on the crown of those frets with a crown file, just cleaning them up. What I ended up finding is actually that this second to last fret, I believe it was. No, I'm sorry, it was the third to last. It was actually a little bit high when I was checking it with the rocker. It was actually rocking on that fret, so I filed that one down. Got them nice and smooth. Got them to where I'm happy with them. And again, the neck looks great. Now all the frets are level. Cleaned it up with some Aught 4 steel wool, oiled the fretboard. Put some new knobs on it. Look at those fancy buggers right there. And now I'm just waiting for my pickups to show up. We're going to swap out the pickups. This already has large pots in it. They are 500K. I pulled one of them out and there is markings on it. So I'm going to leave them for now. We're just going to swap out the pickups and see what kind of improvement we get. And then we'll kind of take it from there. All right. All right, well, there it is in all its glory. Just to recap the whole thing here, what did we do? We redressed those last 4 frets, cleaned them up, cleaned the whole neck up, straight edged it, made a couple minor adjustments, set our string height. I did add this this roller bridge. Why not? I had it laying around, so I figured I'd throw that in there. Set the intonation, which was pretty much spot on to begin with. Added some pretty cool little knobs there. Just kind of give it a good overall look. We put the fake Seymour Duncans in there and got those all set up height-wise. And that is really about it. Oh, I got to put my back cover on here. Not really much else to say about that except another Chibson that I am super happy with from this eBay seller. So happy that I reached out to him and said, hey, you want to throw me together an SG? And I gave him a list of things that, I wanted on it. And actually, that is on its way to the shop right now. I ordered that on July 6th. It is currently, it's August 12th. So just over a month from the time I sent him a message and said, hey, you want to put an SG together for me? Until the time it was built and shipped out to me from China. That's impressive. If it comes as quickly as the last 2 guitars, this one and the Aldo one, I should see that by the end of the week. So when I get that here, we'll do a video on that. A couple little things on this. As I mentioned, those last few frets, which I had to just clean up a little bit. The other thing I do want to mention is when I disassembled it, I pulled the bridge off. This hole had been ever so slightly over drilled. And what they did was they put some pieces of, the very thin pieces of wood and basically shimmed that. That was a little disappointing. Not the end of the world. I cleaned the hole up. Put some filler in there and then reset that the threaded base in there. Super solid now. I don't anticipate that ever giving me a problem. And it wasn't like, it didn't have any movement. It kind of surprised me. It didn't have any movement or anything. But when I put a little pressure on it, I was able to pull it out. And then I realized what they had done with the little shimmed wood. That's the kind of stuff you should expect on a $300 guitar. And again, super easy fix. Was able to take care of that. Not a big deal at all. So let me wrap this up now. That's going to do it for this one. Real happy with this. In fact, so happy with this guitar, I've been playing it more than the Aldo guitar. Although the Aldo one is still near and dear to my heart. What I am going to do is, with the Aldo guitar next, I was going to put a set of pickups in them, but I really like the way they sound. I'm going to pull them out and see if they're the same. These are the pickups from this guitar. These didn't sound too bad. I'm going to pull them out of the Aldo, and I'm going to wax pot them and put them back in and see what kind of results we get from that. So look for that video coming up, and then also the video on the SG that that's on the way to the shop now. And then that'll probably wrap it up for our Chibson mini series here. All right, people. That's it. This is a Chibson Les Paul Custom. I'm Smitty, and I am out.